After Effects has copied the best thing in Premiere and they've made it better. Just so you have to dive into After Effects once in a while. They introduced the Rotobrush 15 years ago, which is crazy. It's got better along the years, but I think they've knocked it out of the park with the new Object Matte tool. Now, it's very similar to the latest hot thing in Premiere, the Object Selection Mask. Now, the question isn't what's better than the other, but actually, what's best for your use case? I find that After Effects offers deeper precision control, and I find myself using the Refine Edges tool a lot more. But for quicker stuff, I'll probably still use Premiere, but we'll look at the differences in clips and speed and processing power in this video. Let's go. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out some of the free templates in the description of current trends you might have seen on social media, along with some of my favorite packs like the Social Media Creator Kit and the Split Screen Pack. All right, let's get into it. For starters, to download this version of After Effects, it's actually the beta After Effects app. You need to go into your apps and then up here go to beta and you'll find it right here. It's After Effects beta and you need to have build 27 or 28. So when it's available, download it, have a go. I've got a few clips I'm going to experiment with, and we're going to go back and forth between After Effects and Premiere and see what results we'll get. I start by creating a new comp from the clip in After Effects, just like Rotobrush. Double click on the layer and open it up in the layer panel. This time we've got 4 different tools though. We've got the Object Matte tool, we've got the Quick Selection tool, Selection Brush tool, and the Refine Edges tool. All right, now right away, we're just going to use the Object Matte tool. It predicts what we want just by moving it around. It's super smart. I click on the player and instantly we get a live preview, okay? Now this is where After Effects shines, because having both the layer view and the comp view side by side makes for a sweet workflow, because I can navigate through everything really quick. I use a space bar, so if you hold down the space bar, you can navigate really quick, and then using the scroll wheel, you can zoom in and out. After I'm happy with this, I'm just going to go to Refine Edges to clean up the hair. Now, the before and after preview is pretty immediate. That's a pretty big deal because in previous versions, I didn't even use the Refine Edges tool. It was a bit too slow, not as responsive for me at least. Now, moving down to the legs, where the edges look a bit straight and artificial, a quick pass with the Refine tool, and you can see how much better it is. The automatic preview makes it super easy to judge adjustments in real time and just go back and refine your work. Now, it did take about 2 minutes to do 200 frames. It's a bit of a heavier process, but the result is clean. I'm pretty happy with the hair. Edges look solid. And then if I duplicate the background and desaturate it, you can kind of see the separation there. It's a pretty convincing matte. And then I'll jump into Premiere Pro, do a similar thing, make a similar selection, track it forward and backward. Process takes about 15 seconds, very fast, and I'm super impressed, really happy with it. But when I duplicate the layer and copy the black and white effect and inspect the edges, it kind of becomes clear that the edges aren't as refined, and your only saving grace here is using the feathering to soften things up. Now, for quick jobs, it's super impressive, but for detailed edges like hair, it's not as precise in Premiere. Now, it comes down to intent. Do you want speed or do you want refinement? Premiere gets you there fast. After Effects gives you a lot more control, but both have their place. Let's try another clip. This basketball player in blue is weaving between other players, so let's see if we can track it. Let's start in Premiere, select him really quick. The question is now, will it track him properly when he moves between the players? Run the track forward, like here. It briefly loses him, but then finds it back again. But it drops the ball at one point. But honestly, for a quick pass, it's fine. I use the lasso tool, hold shift, and then roughly add that back. And I'm pretty rough with this. I'm not being very precise, just broad strokes, and within a minute, you got something usable there. Play it back as fast because this is essentially a mask, not a roto. But again, it's quick. You do sacrifice a bit of precision. For a minute though, it's super impressive. Now, same clip in After Effects. You create a new comp, open the layer up, open an Object Matte tool. The interface, I think, immediately feels a lot more controlled. Again, like we said before, you got your layer view, comp view, everything clearly laid out. And navigation wise, I wish Premiere Pro had the same thing where you can just hold down the spacebar, enables the hand tool, and has that spring function, so it just enables the hand tool whenever you hold the spacebar down. Hopefully they'll add that soon. I think this is where After Effects pulls ahead as far as quality goes a bit more. You've got the Object Matte tool, Quick Selection, Selection Brush, Refine tools, switch between them all, and generally it just feels smarter, a bit faster than Roto, I think. although it does feel the same with some of these tools. Now, although there is more control, the trade-off is freezing. Now, in After Effects, once you're happy, you freeze it, which processes it frame by frame. It takes a bit longer than Premiere's approach, but once it's frozen, you're kind of good. You can scrub through it, pre-compose, add effects, and the tracking holds up, even though he's weaving in and out of other players. Again, kind of same story. Premiere wins on the speed part, but After Effects on the precision. Although the impressive part is, it did track him through weaving it in and out of the other players. And it's worth noting that both of these are running the same kind of AI model locally on your machine, so you're not dependent on the cloud, which would be the case on a lot of other stuff. Now let's talk about motion blur, okay? Because this is where rotoscoping kind of falls apart, makes it a bit harder to separate stuff for the background. Now we've got this boxer throwing fast punches. There's some heavy motion blur around the glove area when he's throwing the punches, and it's going to be tricky. Okay, let's start with Premiere. Select the boxer, hit track, and as expected, it's super fast, really fast. It takes about 25 seconds to do a 30-second clip. It's pretty impressive, okay? But when I separate it from the background, desaturate it, and we really inspect the edges, the problem becomes a bit more obvious. Anywhere there's motion blur, the edges get a bit rough, and the only saving grace again is feathering. Pretty quick, but these are the results, okay? So it's a bit limited. Let's take the same clip, throw it in After Effects, and it tracks it really well, just like in Premiere, but now we've got a Refine Edges tool where we can just get a bit more precise with things. There are moments where it struggles a bit mid-punch where there's a bit of motion blur, but here we've got some motion blur controls. In After Effects, I can enable that motion blur on the mat itself. I can increase the samples per frame, switch to the higher quality, even decontaminate edge colors for a cleaner blur. You can see the difference right here with it enabled and then with it disabled. Side by side with Premiere, I think both results are usable, but again, in After Effects, it gives you more control and the quality I think is better. You just have more options. Now with this clip of the skateboarder, medium difficulty, a bit of motion blur, but nothing ridiculous. Now in After Effects, we'll do the same kind of process, and we're gonna refine the edges around the board, around the shorts, the legs, small passes, around the head. You can see how it refines the head a bit more. Again, navigating in After Effects is still the best. It's so clutch. I'm pretty happy with the results. You see them right here. Now in Premiere, it'll do this in 5 seconds. Straight away, the edges aren't great, but for most people, especially for social media and stuff, this is fine. This is great. A bit of feathering and you're pretty much good to go. And honestly, Premiere looks good for like 90% of stuff. Just for a different effect here, I'm gonna add a text layer behind the subject and do this cutout trend everybody's doing with a stroke effect. But you can see where the edge isn't perfect. Back in After Effects, you can refine those precisely. Instead of a straight, very harsh edge, you can kind of get it a bit more natural with refining the edge, which I kind of prefer. And to be honest, I probably put the time in to do. And then we've got the blur motion settings in After Effects. We can increase the samples, bump the quality, and this is what they look like side by side. Now for the last clip, I had this idea of throwing a basketball and then transitioning between scenes mid-air. This is what the final result looks like. Now in After Effects, I'm just gonna use the object mat because it's the easiest one, and I think it's gonna be really good for this. And it selects it really quick. Again, zooming, panning is really easy to control and refine stuff in After Effects. I'm gonna use the Refine Edge tool just to refine the edges a bit more. Again, you get a bit more of a natural look instead of just feathering, and this is the result we get here. It does take a bit longer in After Effects. This clip took about 2 or 3 minutes to kind of render. Again, not crazy considering we had to wait a lot longer in other versions, but it's still good. Now in Premiere Pro, literally this 10-second clip takes 30 seconds. The only saving grace here is the feathering, and this is what it looks like side by side. When it comes down to it, it depends on what you're editing and what you're delivering. But generally speaking, I think I'd go to Premiere for speed, even if it was a concept. After Effects for precision, if I really wanted to get in there and have a lot more tools to work with. You can have your motion blur you can mess around with. You can refine the edges. There's so much more in After Effects. But if you got any questions, add them to the comments below. We'll make another video just answering some of that stuff and going deeper into all these options. But till next time, peace.